Well, hi there. I appreciate you taking the time to see me today. Did you happen to look over the brochures I sent you about the new Deep Vision 2000?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. It does look like an impressive product. But you know, our economy is doing as well as our national soccer team right now. It's really bad. Imagine we lost to the U.S. Are you a soccer fan by any chance?
Not really. My kids play. I don't play. It doesn't seem to really have taken off in the U.S. My favorite sport is tennis, but with all my traveling, I don't get to play nearly as often as I'd like to. Um, were there any questions on the DV2000 that I might answer? It's quite an advancement, don't you think?
Yeah, it does look like an interesting product. But getting back to tennis, have you tried the local clubs by any chance?
Well, thanks for taking the time to see me today. Did you happen to look over the materials I sent you?
I did. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, what do you say we go get some lunch? Do you have a favorite place?
Sure.
So, do you have a favorite tennis player?
I used to like Jimmy Connors a lot, but now Agassi's probably my favorite tennis player.
Yeah, I used to love watching Lendl and Connors play. Those were great matches.
Those were the best.
How about soccer? Do you have a favorite soccer player?
Internationally, Pelé was definitely the best, and for the national team, Hugo Sanchez is always the best.
Sanchez. What was
Yeah.
so special about him?
He used to score from wherever he wanted. He was fast. Just his moves were amazing.
Wow.
You know what? Had a good lunch, but let's get back to business. Let's go to my office and talk some more about your DV2000 project. I'm really interested.
Okay, great. I'll get the check.
Okay.
No, definitivamente no podemos ofrecerles la cantidad que nos están pidiendo por el producto. No tenemos el dinero y además estoy segura que nos están cobrando más de lo que en realidad vale el producto.
Sí, $1,500,000 es una locura, ¿no? No tenemos el dinero, no vamos a poder ofrecer eso.
No, definitivamente.
Ay, señorita Fernández, señor García, ¿no creen que podamos llegar a un acuerdo? They think we might not be able to get an agreement.
You know, your DV2000 is an impressive product. We are really interested, but it's just the price you're quoting us. $1.5 million. We can't afford that. The highest we can go is $800,000.
$800,000, my goodness. You can't be serious now, can you? I mean, we know the quality of the product, we know the technical specifications. $800,000, that's just nowhere even close. That's just not a realistic number for us. We have to show some sort of profit margin, and that's just not acceptable. I'm sorry, I don't think there's much we can do.
No podemos ofrecer más. You know, we are really interested in your DV2000 product. It's an impressive product, but the quote you gave us, $1.5 million, we just can't afford that. The maximum offer we can make is $800,000.
Well, I see $800,000. That's obviously quite different from our offered price. Do you mind if I ask you how you came up with that figure?
Sure. There are two main reasons or points. First, we have a limited budget for capital acquisitions. It's of basically $900,000. And second, your prices are just not competitive.
Okay, well, we could obviously talk about different long-term financing options to assist you in the acquisition of the product, but what competitors are you specifically referring to?
Well, we look at both Siemens and Toshiba products, and their prices are much better.
Do they include the software options we do?
Do you have any additional questions that we could answer?
Yeah, actually, Mrs. Müller is interested in taking a look at the source code of the X2001 software package. Can you supply this to us? Can you supply the code?
Well, unfortunately, I'm afraid that's something that I won't be able to do, but Mr. Johnson would be happy to discuss with you the modular design of the product.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't see any problem with sharing the code with Ms. Mueller. It's relatively simple. We have copyrights for it.
Well, Mr. Johnson, I have strict orders from Home Office to maintain the confidentiality of our source code, so I'm afraid we won't be able to do that.
But that's not that big of an issue, really.
But, George, please, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that we'll have to get back to you on this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any additional questions that we could answer?
Yeah, actually, Mrs. Müller is interested in looking at the source code of the X2001 software. Is that something you can provide? Can you give us the code?
Well, I'm afraid that unfortunately that's something that I can't do. However, Mr. Johnson would be happy to discuss with you the modular design of our package.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't see any problem with providing Ms. Mueller the source code. It's relatively straightforward. We have copyrights.
Do you mind if George and I take a few moments to talk, just for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Free.
Thank you. So then to sum up, General Medical has the best reputation for reliability within our industry. The digital technology within the DV2000 has superior image clarity, as we've discussed. Additionally, our X2001 software is very versatile in displaying scanner results, and we hope that this will meet your needs.
Das waren aber nicht viele Details. Die
Ja,
sonst
das
kamen.
stimmt. Thank you for the presentation, Mrs. Garcia. I didn't see any details in your proposal here, and this is a big investment for us, and I need to have the details so that we can make a decision.
No, that's all we have today, but we'd be happy to send you more details and more specifications once we return back to the United States.
You mean you need to go back to the United States to get the numbers? So we are having a meeting without the details. This is a total waste of our time.
I'm sorry we wasted your time.
Das ist ja unglaublich, so etwas.
Ja, das habe ich auch noch nicht erlebt.
So then to sum up and to provide you with some additional details in the proposal, you'll note that first we have copies of an independent study which was conducted across 3 different HMOs, United States, which compared 6 different instruments to ours. And you'll note that General Medical scored the best among all competitors. And particularly note that we have 12% less downtime in terms of days of usage than our competitors do. Second, you'll also note that in support of image clarity, we have testimonials from 3 leading researchers, which include Dr. Taniguchi at Johns Hopkins, Dr. Smith at Duke University, and Dr. Wynn at UCLA. Their contact information is also provided, and they'd be happy to serve as a reference for us. And then finally, we have an internal analysis that we conducted of the X2001 software, in which we benchmarked against our competitors, and we'd be interested in hearing your opinions of these details once you review the proposal. And if there are any other additional details that you'd like, please let us know, and we'd be happy to get those to you.
Da brauchen wir einige Tage, das durchzugucken.
Yeah, das stimmt. Thank you, Mrs. Garcia. That's these are very good information for us and very detailed. But we will need to have a couple of days to look through and review those. Can we get back together on the 13th?
That should
Yeah.
be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
所以说越快越好。
那你们这个你们财务部这个钱，你看能不能拿到？
资金没有问题，我们已经跟银行基本上谈妥了。
那你具体一点，你大概急需多少？因为现在你看他们6个月才能交货。
6个月久了点，最好3个月了。
3个月那你钱能够拿到吧
3个月也可以拿到，应该没有问题。
So, so far we've been talking about prices. What about delivery? It seems like that we need the MRI sooner than the 6 months delivery time you quoted.
Well, Mr. Yang, we don't think we've really finished discussing the price yet. I'm not really sure what you think about the excellent prices we've offered you. Obviously, our product is very high-end. We have a wonderful spectrum of additions to all this, but we don't know what you think about the prices. Why don't we discuss one thing at a time? I know that delivery will be important to you, but if we can get the pricing issue settled first, I think that would be in our best way to go.
小赵，你看我们大概什么时候需要这个设备
？3个月最好。
So far, we've been talking about price. What about delivery? We would like to have it available for use much sooner than the 6 months you quoted.
Well, Mr. Yang, what time frame did you have in mind? How soon do you think you'll need it?
We need a delivery date of about 3 months from signing. And do you think you can make that?
Can you give us a little bit of background on why you would need it so soon? Can you help us understand what your needs are?
Both the warranty and the service contract period are too much short for us. We are looking for at least a 3 years warranty with labor included and a 3 years service contract at the same price that you have quoted.
Okay, well, we can certainly increase the service contract to 3 years, but it would be for an additional $15,000. And perhaps I might be able to convince the Home Office to put in a 2-year warranty. But I have to tell you, it's going to be tough to convince them. It's going to be very, very tough.
我们是不是应该和他们讨论讨论担保和售后服务问题啊？
可以啊，你可以直接问他，因为设备来了以后，主要是你使用的。
好，那我就问他们。Well, both the warranty and the service contract period are too short for us. We are looking for at least a 3 years warranty with labor included and a 3 years service contract at the same price as you have quoted.
Okay, well, we can certainly increase the contract to any length that you'd like, but it would have to be an additional cost. And as far as the extended warranty is concerned, 1-year parts only tends to be our standard. Could you explain to me why you feel you would need this time frame to be longer?
Our biggest concern is the high cost of your service personnel. But we are also worried about the durability of the DV2000 given the tougher usage situation here in China.
What do you mean by tougher usage?
you guys would like longer term in financing, then we can't give you much of a break on price. Okay, after all, we know time is money. So let us know what's more important to you. Is it the price or the financing?
どうするかな。
どうしましょうかね。まあこれなら結構いい条件で受けれるような気もするんですけどね。
しかしな。
You know, if price is the sticking point, what about leasing the instruments? We would much prefer to sell them to you, but we could talk about the possibility of leasing. If you would like a longer term in financing, then we can't give you much of a price break. As you know, time is money. So please let us know what's most important to you. Is it the price or the financing?
どうするかな。
これだったら結構いい条件で受けれるような気がするんですけどね。
Actually, the price of discount is more important to us. Perhaps we can explore other alternatives for financing the purchase here in Japan. We are still very interested in buying 2 of the DB2000 units. But all things considered, we just cannot justify a price more than $2 million for the 2. That has to be our final offer.
Mr. Yamaguchi, we have been at this for 3 days. Normally, I'm a patient person. Wouldn't you say, George? But my patience has run out. We keep giving in, and we're getting nothing in return.
We have made several compromises.
No, Mr. Yamaguchi, we have made all of the compromises. You keep asking us to go further and further and further. But just like you, we can't make a profit at this price. We're in business to make a profit as well. We appreciate you purchasing 2 machines, but remember, we've given you a discount on those 2 machines. What you're asking us to do is far too much. We can't afford to do business under these terms. I think we'll just have to go home.
We have been sincere. We are still very interested in buying 2 of the DB2000 units. But all things considered, we cannot justify a price more than $2 million for the 2. That has to be our final offer.
So $2 million is your final offer?
Yes.
George, we're still far apart here. Let's say we take a break. I'd like to call my home office and tell them where we are with everything, and say we get back together in a couple of days and continue with the negotiation.
Great.
Okay.
Well, I was really hoping this deal would work out. We've been working on this a long time.
Right. Yeah. You know, we are very interested in DB2000, but we cannot justify the price you're requesting.
Right. Well, as you know, Garrett-san was fairly upset after our extended negotiations. Everything we're hearing from headquarters and when we're talking back at the home office, $2 million is just unacceptable in their terms. If we can't get some kind of negotiation on price, it seems like we're just going to have to go home. Maybe we can try to work something out in the future.
Yeah.
But at $2 million, I don't know what we'll be able to do, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.